The bush in the village of Bibiman comes down to the shore, and the transparent seawater froths and sparkles like champagne as it tumbles in long rollers onto beaches of yellow sand. In the estuaries, one escapes from the restlessness of the sea into backwaters full of reeds where ducks and wading birds rise from the seaplain. One glimpse here and there of a rocky precipice. It is not a grand or dramatic spectacle, but it is very beautiful, and it has that kind of rugged expansiveness that makes the traveler feel alive and free. The light is too harsh, the trees too thin and sparse, the ground too hard, and there are no soft outlines anywhere. Desiccation seems to be the theme, a pitiless drying out of all sap and moisture. Monotonous is the favorite adjective for the bush, monotonous and therefore worthless. It is a country for the ants. But then on closer acquaintance, one begins to perceive that, very silently and slowly, life is going on here at another level. The embattled young sapling that looks so gnarled and old is full of strength. Its tiny flowers are a gay miniature of larger flowers, and its leaves, when burnt or crushed, releases a smell as pungent as lemons. Dead fallen trees, it is true, give a graveyard appearance to the ground, and the prevailing color of the shrub is greenish-gray. But then, unexpectedly, a flock of pink gala will perch on the bare branches, or one catches sight of the wattle in flower, and it is more gold than gold can ever be, a clear leaping color in a field of gray. The bellbird's single note is a small bell sounding against utter silence, and the fungus pushing up through the cracked brown clay is a dome of bright scarlet. These things, however, have to be discovered. Nothing is at once revealed. You must walk for miles alone, and gradually the feel of the bush begins to seep into the mind, its immense stillness and quietness. And out of that austerity, it is a wonderful thing to see a wild animal start up and bound away, or to come on a group of herons fishing in a waterhole. Inland the country is flat, evergreen, but towards the north like a desert. Here and there a patch of rough shrub, but mostly an endless plain covered with coarse salt bush, and with never a tree to shade one from the overpowering sun. If you want the water, you have to dig for it among the dunes along the shore, a wearisome labor since the hole tends to keep falling in upon itself, and all has to be begun again. In this little village, everything runs to excess. The excessive noonday heat is followed by outrageous cold by night. Rainstorms burst with cyclonic force, and when the rain fails, the blown sand is suffocating. There were moments of grace sometimes in the evenings, when extravagant sunsets swept across the sky and then faded slowly behind enormous stars. But in the main, the plain had an implacable sterility, and the people of Bibiman used to believe that it was inhabited by demons. They would therefore not chase a squirrel there. On the calmest day, a strong wind blows, and occasionally the ocean swell will build itself up into a specially big roller that can be seen a mile away, and it dashes itself against the shore with the effects of a tidal wave. Where the coast is flat, the salt water sweeps inland. Where there are cliffs, and they are immensely high and run for hundreds of miles, the wave hurls itself into their hollowed-out bases with a wild, ungovernable fury. Sometimes unseen and unheard by anyone, great masses of rock come hurtling down to the sea from 500-foot height above, and it is like the crashing of an avalanche.